Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters FPL podcast. We've got Jake and Ludo, obviously, again. Hello, guys.
Hello.
And we're back here for a Game Week 15 podcast. So first we'll take a look at Game Week 14, which was a great week for some, me. So yes, let's start with Jake's Game Week 14.
Yeah, I mean, it went pretty well, I think. I mean, I had both Fernandez and Salah, so obviously I couldn't have done too badly. But the big problem, as you can see, is my defence. A total of 2 points with my three defenders. So yeah, that wasn't too great. I'm kind of annoyed about Chilwell coming off in the 10th minute, I think.
Mm-hmm.
When he would have got a clean sheet. And Lamptey and Conte are both injured and didn't play. And then Cody, Wolves losing to Burnley, I wasn't too happy with. But otherwise, I think I did all right. Wilson did quite well. But I'm really happy with Fernandez and Salah. And Grealish did quite well as well, getting, two assists.
Yeah. Not a bad week. I feel like I owe you an apology because I convinced you that Lamptey would play.
Yeah.
And I thought he would, but this time he was actually injured. What a shame.
Hopefully they'll both be all right for next week because I kind of need them.
Not a bad week then, Jake. Ludo?
Well, mixed feelings because I decided to... Because there were rumours that Salah was not going to play. So I decided that I'm not going to bench a 12 million player, or I'm not going to let a 12 million player play for the last 5 minutes and get 1 point. So I decided to captain Sadio. I decided to bring in Sadio Mane, captain him, and in the first 30 minutes, it was all going really smoothly. You were all jealous, but then things changed when Salah then came on for the last 30 minutes, and yeah, the rest is history. But yeah, I'm quite happy with Fabio Silva. Very sneaky penalty against Burnley.
Off the bench as well.
Sorry?
He started on the bench, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. But other than that, I'm not too happy.
Well, yeah, this is our group chat just before the deadline. It was Ludo basically freaking out because I told him that Salah was going to be rested. And then the way Ludo does things is he just does it. So then within the next minute, he texted saying, okay, Salah out, Mane and done. And we were like, oh my God, you madman. He scored an assist in the first half an hour. And we were just like, oh my God, you genius. And then the second half happened. So unlucky, Ludo.
Yeah, but I'm happy with taking that risk and sort of not being rewarded, but I'm happy that
it didn't go too badly.
Didn't go too badly, yeah.
You got lucky with Fabio Silva as well because you had Welbeck before he scored as well.
Yeah, I mean, Welbeck got 9 points. Fabio Silva got 6 points, so it wasn't worth it, but still.
Have you got Salah back now?
Yes, I do.
2 transfers you'll never get back. And I guess finally me. What a week. What can I say except boom. So happy. But I'm actually also at the same time really annoyed. And I'd like to have a few words with Benjamin Chilwell. Because if he'd have played, got a clean sheet, I would have hit the 100 mark. It's great getting a 98, but come on. It's not even the best I've done this year. I got 98 once before already. So I achieved nothing this week. Because of Benjamin Chilwell.
I mean, it wasn't really his fault, was it?
Of course it was.
No, you can blame Bowen.
Why, did he injure him?
Yeah. Not sure if you saw the injury. It was accidental, but he got contact with his studs, so he twisted his ankle.
Accidental. That's what they were saying.
Yeah. So quite disappointed. It was his birthday as well.
Huh.
And Jared Bowen's birthday was the day before Chilwell's. So,
How
yeah.
do you
Cool.
do this?
He's just got like a huge list in his bedroom of players' birthdays.
Yeah.
Whose birthday is it today?
Not sure exactly.
Probably Jimmy Dunn's.
Yeah, Jimmy Dunn's. But yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
once
week for
again,
you.
these auto subs keep on helping me out because Konza didn't play again, but Dallas came off the bench for me with a lovely little goal.
Jammy
Lovely
that.
goal, actually. Banger. And I captained Fernandez like Jake. Me and Jake were texting just before the deadline, and I was getting so like in a mess just because I couldn't choose. I chose Fernandez in the end because I thought Salah would be rested. And then I was so angry after Salah did what he did. Then, it's the nicest feeling when Bruno did better.
It was only by 1 point, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
2
favourite point ever.
points.
And also my strikers did well. Jamie Vardy, great performance. Callum Wilson, good performance. Jack Grealish as well did well. All I can say is it's lucky I didn't captain Martinez.
Yeah.
Because I was seriously tempted by that. But,
Yeah.
that's lucky.
I was surprised that the average was so low, but I guess if you didn't have Fernandes or Salah, you were kind of screwed.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's crazy, actually, because Salah's only got 40% ownership.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at some players that have more than that. And there's some funny names. There's Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
He's got more ownership than Salah. Jack Grealish. The most owned player, Son. He's been on a bit of a blank streak. Wait, no, he hasn't. Just this week. But, yeah, it's interesting about that ownership thing. Same with Bruno as well, 43%. I expect that to be higher. But that's probably why the average was quite low.
Calvert-Lewin as well, 61% when his fixtures aren't great.
I know I don't have Calvert-Lewin, and I don't want to get him.
No, not
But that could hurt us this week against Sheffield United.
Mm.
Anyway, I want to talk now about Jack Grealish. Like I said there, 43% ownership, but I'm a bit worried about him. I know he did really well this week, but I've watched the last 2 Villa games just because they've been so important for my fantasy team. And I think he's playing in a new position. I think he's shifted from central to left wing.
Yeah.
And although he pretty much gets man of the match every game, I don't think he's delivering as much fantasy-wise.
No.
Because he's hasn't got a goal in a while.
I mean, the last few weeks before this week, he got 3 points, 2 points. Well, he got 10 points against West Ham when he scored. But yeah, not great. I mean, at the beginning of the season, he was doing well. But he kind of...
I mean, you can't really be disappointed with 10 points. Unless you've got to spend the money elsewhere, like for somebody like De Bruyne. You can't be too disappointed with 10 points.
It's just looking forwards that he's got tough fixtures. And if you're looking at the 2 assists he got on the weekend, one was winning a penalty and the other was a 3-yard pass to a guy who ran and scored. So I'm not sure. I think his value's starting to decrease.
Well, I've transferred him out now anyway because of master plan that's in my head.
Well, I would transfer him out. Actually, I give him Crystal Palace, but I would transfer him out, except he's one of the few players that's actually playing in the blank game week.
Yeah.
Be it against Spurs, I think I'm going to hold on to him just because of Spurs, just because of that week. But I'm not sure. I strongly consider transferring him out. Who did you replace him with, Jake?
Jared Bowen.
Interesting.
He's got decent fixtures.
Yeah, and there are a couple good replacements for him that are slightly cheaper that you can improve in the other parts of the pitch.
Yeah.
So last week, as you might remember, I decided to spotlight Tottenham v Leicester, which surprisingly ended quite comfortably for Leicester. But this week, it's Ludo who's spotlighting. What have you chosen, Ludo?
I've chosen the London derby. I mean, I know on paper it might seem a very dull game because, Arsenal are at the moment, are in serious contention of getting relegated. I prefer not to talk about that because I've got Noah on the show. But
don't worry, I'm happy to talk about it.
No, but I think in the London derbies, especially, it's a Christmas cracker. You never know what's going to happen. But form often goes out in derbies, obviously, and I think there are not going to be too many goals. I think it's going to go down to the wire with a goal for Chelsea. But it should be quite a tight game because obviously Arsenal are essentially playing for their manager now. If he loses his next 2 games, he has to be out because then you're being just forced into the relegation race, and it's actually serious. If you look a couple of years ago, your brilliant players you had, and now the players you've got, Aubameyang, they're just not delivering. So big problem at Arsenal, but I think Arsenal will be really thirsty for a big result against their London rivals. So big game.
Well, the thing is, Arsenal's fixtures are obviously Chelsea, which I'd expect us to lose. But then I think it's really important. I wouldn't call them relegation 6-pointers because that's just embarrassing. But we have got after Chelsea, we've got
Brighton and West Brom,
Palace and Newcastle. Those have to be wins, really.
Well, you lost to Burnley.
Burnley are now a point behind us with a game in hand.
I know.
It's so funny.
You are in a bit of a mess, to be honest.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, what a time.
I
as I said,
us to lose that.
Yeah.
Lose against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, at the start of the season, you should have gone, that's a win, this is a win, Burnley's a win, But Arsenal are just making it hard for themselves, just conceding, not really having the correct attitude, top players not really shining. So they've got a big problem they need to sort out. And let's hope they can, or not let's hope, but we'll see if they can turn things around. But, with Christian Pulisic, I think it might be quite hard for David Luiz or Rob Holding or Hector Bellerin to really, catch up with him. Same as Timo Werner. Top 10 fastest players in the world.
As Pilaqueta v Martinelli. That'll be a bit of a mismatch.
Well, I think Reece James will play,
And I think Gabriel Martinelli won't. Because I think he's still injured a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to wait for the big showdown.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Timo Werner, he's so bad.
Look, he hit the bar.
Yeah, but that should be a goal. I saw that. That should have been a goal.
I mean, look, give him time. Give him time, just like Havertz.
It's been 14 weeks.
Look, we've spent 250 million, and you can't just expect things to click like that.
Well, I mean, you kind of can. When Timo Werner is just this guy that's been ripping it up in Germany.
Yes, but I think we all know that the Premier League's a different league, isn't it?
Aubameyang. Yes, of course.
Look at Aubameyang. Aubameyang scored
on his debut.
Was the Bundesliga's top scorer.
Yeah.
And now
he scored like 3 goals, 14.
Now Harry Maguire's got more goals than him, so that's obviously quite a worry.
That's not my name.
Okay, fine. We'll say Ben Chilwell then.
No, he's got 4 this Premier League season.
Kurt Zouma.
There you go. But yeah.
So this so-called easy match for Chelsea, are you going to have any Chelsea assets in your team?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think that there might be quite a few goals. I mean, Ludo said that there aren't going to be many goals, but I think there will be for Chelsea. I mean, Arsenal haven't
That's
kept
nice.
Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 5 Premier League games, and they've
The
not
problem
won
is,
in their
yeah,
last
it's
5 Premier League games.
the problem with Arsenal is when we were good, like this summer, last season, it was because we defended well. We didn't score many goals, but we defended well. Now we just can't defend and can't attack. So it's not looking good.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm depressed enough. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, so we did defender differentials, we did midfielder differentials. Let's do striker differentials. And we'll start with Jake.
Yeah, so I went with Sebastian Haller and McGoldrick. So obviously you can see that their stats, they're all right. They're not great, especially, well, both of them really. I mean, they're both in the lower half of the table. But, I mean, you can see that they have scored a few goals, and I think that their form might pick up. I mean, they've both got decent fixtures coming up. So yeah, Sheffield United have got Everton, Burnley, Crystal Palace and Newcastle. I mean, Sheffield United scored 2 goals against United, which, I don't know, both McGoldrick. But yeah, I think McGoldrick will definitely could score a few goals in the next couple of matches. And Haller, his fixtures are also pretty good. The next, I think, 6 fixtures are all green or grey. So yeah, Brighton, Southampton, Everton, Burnley, West Brom, Crystal Palace. So yeah, they're both their fixtures are pretty good. And yeah, I think they'll do all right.
Their double game week West Ham looks so good. They got Burnley and West Brom in the same game week.
Yeah.
What great fixtures those. So Aller's on 0.5% ownership and McGoldrick's on 1% ownership, so very differential.
I always pick the proper differentials. You always go for...
No, you got like sub 1%. But I guess that's what differentials are. Who have you picked, Ludo?
Well, I have got Christian Benteke and Anthony Martial. So Martial has got 3.8% ownership and Christian Benteke has got 0.4% ownership. I think Martial is growing as, Man United are in good form at the moment and he's gaining confidence as are players around him. So I think he'll get a couple more goals. And with Christian Benteke, I think that he's already scored 3 goals. He's very good in the air. So and at the moment he is sort of their starting 11 striker along with Wilfried Zaha. So he's really giving RU a hard time. So yeah.
Nice ones. And I've gone for obviously a couple in the higher regions. I've gone for Bobby Firmino, who's starting to really pick up the form now. On 4.2% ownership, but this week 127,000 managers have already transferred him in.
Including myself.
Looks like people are starting to take notice of him. And I think great fixtures for him. And he looks like he's starting to get some goals. And I've also gone for Leeds, Rodrigo, who is owned by 2.3%. So a low differential there. I think he's done well this season so far. Once he nailed in that spot in the first 11, he's looked like he can really score. And he was unlucky not to score against United, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think Leeds have got really good fixtures as well. They've got Burnley this week, and they've got West Brom afterwards, which are great fixtures. So I think Rodrigo could be one to keep an eye on for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, not a bad shout.
Very much so. Moving on, I want to talk about some premium defenders who were on the wish list of every FPL manager last year. Slightly trailed off this season though. Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Do you think they're back to full form?
Well, obviously against Crystal Palace, they both got an assist. But I don't think they've been performing. I mean, Liverpool have been kind of iffy defensively recently. But I think now that they've got, a good few fixtures, they've got West Brom, Newcastle, Southampton. I think most of the Liverpool defence, I think they'll be getting clean sheets and maybe a goal or assist. Yeah, I mean, especially because they're attacking fullbacks.
Yeah. I think Liverpool are starting to get some clean sheets, though. They are starting to get more solid at the back. They've got 4 clean sheets this season. And Alexander-Arnold's back from injury now, back in the lineup. So I think they will continue to get assists, definitely.
I was considering bringing Matip into my team just for the clean, but I decided not to. I don't know why.
The problem is with these Liverpool guys that I keep on trying to fit them into my team, but I just can't afford them. So I think this season you're looking at your midfield as your biggest spend. You're looking at Salah, De Bruyne maybe, Fernandes, Son. And that leaves you with nothing for the defence.
Yeah.
But if I could afford them, I'd definitely be bringing Robertson in for me.
Yeah, especially when you've got really good options like Ben Chilwell and Kurt Zouma, who are really racking up the goals and assists. So, it's been difficult this season to fit them in, but now is the moment, perhaps, with this double game week emerging.
You do have some other even cheaper defender options like James Justin's done well, Kufal, Konza. So yeah, there are a lot more good defenders on the market this year. And I guess it wouldn't be an FPL podcast without talking about double and blank game weeks. We've all come up with master plans, so let's take a look at Ludo's first. Oops, those are the fixtures, just to keep an eye on them.
So my master plan is game week 16 to probably bring in Leno, who's got Brighton and West Brom, who've got really bad, Brighton and West Brom rarely score. So we've got that. And so the players highlighted in green are the players who are not blanking, and
what do you mean, not blanking?
Well, the players who are playing in game week 18.
Okay.
And the players who are pinkish or brownish are the players which have been transferred in that game week. And then the players in white are the players who are staying in the team, but are not playing in game week 18. So obviously I've got one free transfer in game week 16, 17, and 18. And I'll be taking in game week 16 a -4 hit, game week 17 a -4 hit again, and game week 18 a -8 hit. For my game week 18 team, I'm quite happy with it because I've got Leno against West Brom, I've got Reguilon against Leeds, Diaz against Brighton, I've got KDB and Sterling against Brighton as well. and then I've got Wilson against Sheffield United, Kane against Aston Villa. So although game week 18 has lots of players blanking, I'm quite happy with my game week 18 team. But in game week 16, I might be thinking of, instead of bringing in Reguilon, bringing in Son instead of Fernandes, who's got Leeds and Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, I think United have got brilliant fixtures over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways, that's my master plan.
It's tough to squeeze Son in that midfield, though.
yeah.
I'd say probably instead of KDB, because I think his fixtures are iffy.
Yeah, I think Son for game week 18. If you're in a dilemma whether to get Son or Kane for game week 18, I suggest you get Son in game week 18 because they're both playing Leeds, but Leeds are so open in the midfield, so that will give lots of freedom for Son.
It's Villa, no? Villa in game week 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got Leeds game week 17, I think.
Yeah, sorry, game week 17. Sorry, I was talking about game week 17. So if you're in a bit of a dilemma, get Son because he'll have much more freedom, as we saw with McTominay, Fernandes, and so on.
Okay, I guess here's my master plan. I've gone also for the Excel spreadsheets. I've gone for an interesting keeper choice. I've gone for Nick Pope, who's got great fixtures game week 16 and 17.
Yeah.
They've also gone for Brighton second keeper / maybe first keeper now, Sanchez.
Yeah.
Who I am going to play in game week 18 against City. Sounds stupid, but he'll make a lot of saves.
Goals.
Yeah, that as well, but hopefully not. So, my key is that the yellows are the players I'm transferring in for that week. Blues will be my captain, and then I've ranked their fixtures. So in terms of hits and transfers, there'll be an 8 hit for 16, 17, and 18, which isn't ideal, but I don't mind it. So I'm quite pleased with that plan, actually.
Yeah.
I've got a solid squad. So yeah, hopefully that'll be good. And Jake's master plan.
Yeah. So this is my master plan. Basically, to cross my fingers. So I've got a rough idea of who I need to transfer out, and I'm just gonna play it by ear pretty much. I know what my game week 18 team wants to look like, and I'm just gonna make 2 or 3 transfers every week till then, trying to.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you're listening on Spotify and you can't see the screen, it's just a huge photo of a fingers crossed.
Yeah.
For Jake's master plan.
I'm not as dedicated as Noah and Ludo to build a whole. I don't even know.
We've got a lot of free time on our hands, Jake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Nice. And I guess to finish off with, we will take a look at our teams for game week 15. We'll start off with mine. It's an interesting one because I am going for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the bench boost. What do you think?
I mean, I think we may have discussed this. I think Ludo may have brought it up, but he said you don't really want to be spending money on your bench. So yeah, you just want to focus.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, on your bench, it's good to have one good player like Souček, for example, and then have some, less good players like, for example, Brewster, and so on, because you want to be spending your money on the premiums. So you can look at bench boost as a negative boost if you want. Well, it's not very negative because Noah will probably get an extra 15 points from it if he's, depends. But, after that, he can start focusing on bringing in, I'm not sure who he wants to bring in, but KDB, for example, or players who really have good fixtures and have got a good chance of producing lots of points.
I'm sort of in two minds about whether I should do it this week because, on the one hand, as Ludo said, it's probably not going to be a better time to use it than this, because come my wildcard in Game Week 19, I will have at least 2 dead weights on my bench who won't play at all.
Yeah. Well, another.
So I think it's...
You go.
Okay. So I think it is quite good to get it over with, and they've got good fixtures as well.
Yeah. Another thing is that you could, for Game Week 19, when you do wildcard, in Game Week 20 you could bench boost. But, I've seen your wildcard draft and it doesn't look like you're paying much attention to your bench.
Because no, I've gone for Jimmy Dunn.
You've gone
for Brewster.
Yeah, so I don't think, it's a very good idea. So this is the best time to do it.
Definitely. So is that it? Because I still wasn't 100% sure, but do you think this is it, 100%? I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one concern is if Palace score against Villa, then it has the potential to be a very bad one.
What's the harm in getting a couple of extra points anyway?
Yeah, worst case scenario, I just get 8 added points. So I'm going to do it. One thing we didn't talk about just quickly is captaincy picks. I think there's only really one option this week.
Yeah. Salah and De Bruyne, I'd say as well.
Yeah.
Salah's
I'd always
a
go
safer
Salah.
one.
If you've got both, go Salah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a shout for a triple this week? Triple on Salah?
I'd say.
Of course there is.
Are you tempted?
Which I will be asking your opinion once you look at my team.
Okay. One thing I will just say is it says always the safer triple is on the double game weeks.
Yeah.
So I know you've got your eyes on Bamford for that double.
Yeah.
So maybe save it. So that's my team. I will be bench boosting, so you'll see the results on our Game Week 16 podcast on Monday. But hopefully that goes well. Hopefully Wilson scores a sneaky hat-trick with City. You never know.
Hat-trick.
And Souček turns into prime Ronaldinho. Let's move on to who have we got? Ludo's team.
Right. So I've gone for a 3-5-2, and I'm very happy with my team. Obviously, I've got McCarthy in goal, Vestergaard, Ogbonna against Brighton, Zuma against Arsenal. Then we've got quite a nice midfield: De Bruyne, Salah, Fernandes, all captain picks. And then we've got Henderson, perhaps some assists. He's in really good form. Souček, he's really tall, so he's a threat from corners. So is Ogbonna. And then we've got Bamford against Burnley, hopefully like a sneaky hat-trick. And then Firmino, let's hope that he can deliver as well. So I'm hoping 85 points.
Jeez.
That's not
unrealistic. I need to get away from Finbar in the league, and I'm only 2 points ahead of him, and I really need to sort out. But probably once Finbar gets his wild card, I'll probably mess up his team. So
we won't let you. We'll be guarding his phone.
Yeah. Anyways,
I just realised I didn't read out my team, so I'll just quickly do that. So I've got McCarthy v Fulham, Kufal v Brighton, Walker Peters v Fulham as well, Dallas v Burnley, Dyer v Wolves, Son v Wolves, Fernandes, Salah, captain, Grealish, Bamford and Kane. And on my bench, which will be boosted, Martinez, Wilson, Konza and Souček. So that's my team. And then finally, Jake's.
Yeah, so after my awful week defensively, I've got all new defenders now. Well, other than Konza, who hopefully he'll play. I've got Lamptey on the bench, and I've brought in Aurier and Keane, hopefully both getting clean sheets. But I think I'm going to be using Keane in game week 18. So I've brought him in quite early. But yeah, I'm happy with McCarthy in goal against Fulham. Hopefully a clean sheet there. Konza, I mean, if he does play, hopefully I'll be getting a clean sheet there. And then my midfield, I'm pretty happy with. Again, Salah captain, Son against Wolves, Fernandes for Leicester. And then I've brought in Jared Bowen against Brighton. Hopefully I'll get, maybe an assist or a goal there. And then Pedro Neto after, Spurs conceding 2 goals against Leicester. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a goal or assist. And then in attack, I've got Bamford against Burnley and Kane against Wolves. So I think that's a fairly strong team. Yeah.
One thing I would say, you probably can't afford it, but if you're getting an Everton defender, I would have suggested Mina because he's got the goal threat.
No, I know, but
So as Keane, to be honest. Sheffield United are really weak at set pieces, so I think, might be a good, if you're looking for a differential, good captain pick, Keane.
Mina does have that track record of scoring from corners, though. He did it against Arsenal.
Yeah, I was going to try and get Mina, but just I don't have enough money for the next couple of weeks with
scoring a header against Arsenal these days is pretty easy. I think Jimmy Dunn could do that as well.
Very funny.
He also got a good shot on him. I think he nearly scored against Arsenal as well from 35.
I wouldn't bet on him scoring though.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I think, did Ludo want to talk about triple captaining Salah maybe? We don't have long left.
I probably won't, to be honest, and wait for a double. So I hope I can get a nice little, around the 80s perhaps. That'd be, having a cracking week. So yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
If you are thinking of triple captaining Salah and you're listening to this, it's not that we're advising against it because it's a very good shout, but there might just be better options later during the season.
Indeed.
Because Salah's got a nice double, Bruno's got a nice double, Bamford's got a nice double. So I'd probably wait. So I think we'll wrap up there.
Yeah.
Just quickly, we will we'll be back we'll try and squeeze in an episode on Monday for game week 16. Of course, the game weeks coming within a day of each other, so the fixtures piling on. So with that, we'll say goodbye and wish you luck for your fantasy this week.
Yeah.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.